All right. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? LinkedIn, YouTube. It's Chris. We're back for another BizBuzz Live. And on today's show, we're going to be talking a little bit about that college degree, that good old college degree. Is it helping you? Is it hurting you? How quickly can you actually get into the workforce with that college degree? We're going to talk about it on today's episode of BizBuzz Live. Stay tuned. What's up, y'all? We're back again. It's Chris Muzan, your financial coach, helping you dive into all things finances. But for this show, BizBuzz Live, we're coming to you every single Wednesday here on LinkedIn and here on YouTube. Again, feel free to throw us a like, throw us a thumbs up so that more people can get a chance to see this and jump into this conversation. The reason why we started BizBuzz Live specifically was for people that are thinking about their industry, thinking about transitioning, thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, thinking about what their next career move might be. And again, as a financial coach, oftentimes I'm sitting down with people having the conversation around all of their finances. And one of the most important parts of someone's financial life is how they choose to earn income. So how you choose to earn income is incredibly important to all the rest of your life, to your savings, to your investing ability, to being able to pay down debt quicker, to being able to purchase a home or to raise a family. All of those things typically come out of your cash flow of how you choose to earn money. And some people are higher income earners and choose careers specifically because of the money. And hopefully, if they do the right things with the money, it'll set themselves up for a better future. They can invest the majority of that money if they have a high discretionary income and then get to the place that they want to be. But a lot of times, we're picking careers for many different reasons, not just the money. We're picking it for maybe work-life balance or quality of life, or some people say, right, their passions or what they just like to do. Some people are picking their career because of their family, because of what they've known or what they've seen around them. So people have all types of reasons why they're picking and choosing the careers that they're in. But it's important to know how this translates to someone's financial life. So on the show, we're talking about all things entrepreneurship, industry, business, careers, career changes, career trends, industry trends, all of those things, so you can have a better idea and a better understanding of how you should or could pick your future industry. So today we're going to talk a little bit about a touchy subject. I don't know if it's touchy as much as it is a bit polarizing, I guess. Everyone has a little bit different of an opinion on it. We just posted this article here on our LinkedIn that I'm going to share with you about college graduates not being able to as easily get into the job market and what they're having to do now in order to find a job, in all honesty. Right. I'm a product of college. So let me just preface this entire talk by saying I have a college degree, albeit an associate in culinary arts and then another bachelor's in food service management. My wife has a few different degrees as well. So we're a product of the college and higher education environment. And it's only because of that we now kind of understand the limitations. Not that it's not the right thing to go to college, not that it is the wrong thing to go to college, right? But there are limitations. And I think just having the conversation around where you want to go, what the end goal is, and then what your options are is important. To that point, my wife and I don't use any of our degrees, none of them. Not one of them do we actually use in our business life or in our work life. And some of you out there may have a similar story or something along the same line. So feel free to drop a comment in. Have you gotten your degree and are you using it? What degree did you get and are you actually using it currently? A lot of people are not. We're going to see that in some of the stuff that we talk about today. But specifically, I'm going to share a quick article. An article that we came across was here trending a bit on LinkedIn. And it was just an interesting topic. Every time we get a chance to get around this workforce and college conversation, the question is always, right, what's the ROI of this degree? What's the return on investment for this degree that we have or that we're getting? And this article that had just come out in the Wall Street Journal, I'll share it here with you. This article that just came out in the Wall Street Journal, titled "These College Seniors Locked in Job Offers and Here's How They Did It." Subtitle saying landing a first job after graduation takes unexpected connections, industries, and tactics. Well, that's not what they sold us when we went to college, right? That's really not what they sold us. They sold us on the fact that if you get this degree, you will get a better position. If you go to school, you get this 2-year or 4-year degree, coming out of school, you will have better opportunity to make more money. That is what they told us, right? But now in 2024, college graduates or people that are in the process of graduating are now thinking about having to do extra, going above and beyond just in order to be able to get a job, which was the whole goal, right? It was just to get a job with this degree. And right now, it might not be happening. I'll speak from when I graduated, I did get recruited directly out of college into my career. So again, associates in culinary arts, bachelor's in food service management. Probably 2 or 3 months before graduating, I got offered a management position at a casual fine dining restaurant, J. Alexander's. They offered me that position right away, but I don't necessarily know that it was directly from my degree. I think my degree helped, but I also had been working in the industry for some time. I also had on my resume that I was a line cook and that I ran a gourmet cafeteria, right, for a little bit of time. And then I jumped front of the house and became a server and bartender and all these things I had on the resume on top of the fact that I was getting the degree. So I think there was more to it than just the degree in and of itself. But today, more people are coming out of school just having the degree. They might have had one internship in their field, but they're not very well versed in whatever their degree is outside of having that actual degree. So we had to bootleg this a bit. I'm gonna stop sharing this and I'm gonna share another one with you. We had to, I'm a financial guy, so I'm a little cheap every once in a while. Frugal, let's call it frugality. So I wasn't paying for the Wall Street Journal. I don't know how many of y'all pay for Wall Street Journal, but I for sure am not. So we had to screenshot some of this article. Wall Street Journal is not copyright, and we're just or plagiarism or whatever it is. We just needed to do this. So anyway, here's what it said in here. This is that article. And it said that where is it? Oh, college seniors who've locked in jobs after graduating say that they did so by going above and beyond, tapping unexpected connections, industries, and tactics to secure their role. So again, not a lot happening just directly out of school. Here's some things that the class of 2024 has to deal with. If you see this chart on the screen, the percentage of undergraduates who have accepted full-time job offers and aren't applying, the light blue is 2023, class of 2023, and then class of 2024. So you see just in a year, less students are accepting these job offers, or maybe less of them are getting offered these jobs. It says in here, white collar job cuts have the class of 2024 competing with laid off young hires in tech, consulting, and other sectors who have 1 or 2 years of experience. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Not only are people coming out of college, not only are people coming out of college looking for a job, now they're competing with people that just got laid off that maybe are, class of 2021 or class of 2022, and they had 1 year or 2 years worth of experience in the industry and the same degree, and they just got laid off. Now they're fighting to get back in the workforce in their respective sectors. And now you got class of 2024 coming out and saying, well, we need jobs too. So who is that employer likely going to hire? Likely going to hire the person that's coming directly out of school with just an internship and no experience? Or are you going to hire the person that has 1, 2, 3 years worth of experience that worked for a pretty reputable company but got laid off? Who's gonna kind of take advantage of that? That is a question. And we have to pay attention to all these things as we start to decide what is the value of a college degree. People are applying for lots of different positions. This is a girl that's in the financial services space, so trying to apply for jobs at Goldman and JP Morgan. All of those are companies that are very sought after, but they can't take on everybody. This says right here in this article, it says the first job after college has a lasting impact on earning potential and higher stakes than previously thought. So just even being able to put yourself in a position where you get this first job out of school, well, that's going to determine where your salary is. It's going to determine where you can move mobility wise, right? So there's lots of things that go into play. And again, it says it's higher stakes than previously thought. Here's a sentence that stood out to me. It said roughly half of graduates end up in jobs where their degrees aren't needed, and more of them stay in similar positions for the next decade. So let's just stop right there, right? Let's just stop right there and understand exactly what that says, that roughly half of graduates in jobs where their degree isn't needed. Half, ladies and gentlemen, half of people that graduate are in positions where their degree is not even needed. So again, what's the ROI of going to school? I had a conversation with a server a couple days ago. I was eating at a restaurant, and I was sitting at the bar area, having a conversation. Server had come up, right? Was talking to the bartender, but I don't know how we got into the conversation. I asked her how long she had been working at the restaurant. And she told me just for a couple years, but she started as a cook. She started back of the house. So again, that's my background. So I'm always taking interest in people that are in the restaurant space. She said she started in the back of the house as a cook, which is very rare than to jump front of the house and become a server. But then she was like, hey, I went to college, and then I realized it was probably more money out here in the front of the house. I said, you're right? I did the exact same thing. And then I asked her what she's going to school for. And she said she was going to school for, I think it was construction management. And I was like, it's kind of an odd degree, right? Like construction management. What do you want to do with that? You're trying to, run a construction company, like be a manager, what are you trying to do? And she's like, yeah, my dad's an electrician. He kind of recommended this side, and I think I can get in there and be more of like a construction manager, basically, like running sites, and bigger companies can offer me, positions. And I basically asked, and I was like, okay, are you going into debt for this? Like, are you paying like student loans on it? And she's like, yeah, like a lot, as if, she didn't really have the money. And I was like, so you're going into debt for it, and when you come out, like, what's your hope? And they're like, well, I hope that I get this position at this bigger company that values the degree. And that's what they told me when I went to school, that, when I come out, I'll be eligible for higher paying positions and those things. As soon as she said that, I was like, it's not the case. I think you should drop out. right? That's not going to, whatever dream they sold you, I don't think that's going to be the case. And I think you should drop out. And she kind of laughed and chuckled and said, it's something I had thought about before. I'm already 2 years in, so it felt like a waste of money. And I was like, but you're going to waste more money if you continue to stay there, right? You're going to have to continue to pay more. And then you're going to come out on the other side of that. And what if that job is not there for you? And again, looking at the data, we can see it's getting harder and harder to get the job that you want directly out of college, directly out of school. And I gave her the other side. I said, listen, if you really want to get into some form of, construction management, you want to get into a management position, which one do you think will look better on a resume? Do you think you going 4 years and getting this degree with one small internship, then coming out and then getting the money and the pay that you want to pay off the debt that you have now to go to school, you think that's going to look favorable for your employer? Or if you stopped now, you went to work for a construction company at any entry level position, and you become the most helpful and most curious employee that's there. So if you start off as an admin, you work extra hours and you help the other management team and you do more for people in the company. You sit with the managers, you try to assist them in the ways possible. Then for 2 years, you're getting paid and getting experience in the career in the field you want. And then after those 2 years, leave that company if they're not going to pay you more, and then go find a different company that will pay you what you believe that you're worth. Which one do you think is a better path or a more likely path to getting there? And right, it's always hard when we're going down one path and then someone tells you, well, maybe you're going down the wrong path. There's there's a fork in the road, or right, there's a different road you could take. Sometimes we have to process it. It's not the easiest thing to do. But she understood, and she was like, oh, well, probably getting paid for what I do and getting the experience is probably going to be more important. And I was like, you're probably right. Even knowing that in construction, that construction management degree might not be valued by the person hiring you. They might not care that you went to school and learned some things in theory. They may be like, oh, you helped run this other construction firm or this other company. You assisted. Now you have 3, 4, 5, references or referrals. Like the person, your boss that you were working for, speaks highly of you. You have actual, real life, real case scenarios of what you were able to do there, not theory. And I told her, I was like, I promise you, you'll make way more money if you go that direction over the next 2 years instead of going into debt and then crossing our fingers and hoping that that job is going to be there. It's just not the way the world works these days. Again, small few group of people that are coming out of college are getting the job or the position or the money that they want. In all honesty, most people aren't, though. Most people aren't. And we have to be very real about this conversation when we are talking about the college degree and what its value is out there. Here's another example of this, that this article just came out in Bloomberg saying, don't bet on that marketing degree. One study shows that nearly 60% of marketing majors are working high school level jobs 5 years after graduating. 5 years after graduating, 6 out of every 10 people that have a marketing degree are working high school level / entry level jobs in marketing. How do you think it's going paying off those student loans, huh? How do you think it's going? Why do you think everyone's pushing for this student loan cancellation, forgiveness? Can we just be honest and say that maybe, again, not all degrees. I know I hear it already because I have this conversation a bunch in the comments. Well, yes, if you want to be a doctor or an attorney or a surgeon, or, you have some specialized niche career that you're just super passionate about. If you want to be a college professor, right? There's obviously going to be some reasons to go off and get the degrees. But even then, we really have to debate what's the ROI. I know more teachers in a ton of student loan debt and are not able to make the money that they want to, specifically because the industry is not paying what they thought it would. So, did you need a degree to get there? Yes. What's the ROI of that degree? You got in the position and still maybe aren't in the financial position you need to be. You still aren't making the money you need to. So, what's the real ROI of that college degree? College is not for everyone. Having a job is not for everyone. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. I think we just have to navigate this conversation for the next generation. For those of you that are thinking about going to college, are your first year in college and you just don't know what to do, you don't know what your career is, again, I recommend you start getting paid. You start getting paid before you know what you want to do and all of those things. You just go work, go figure out what work life is like. And then as you're working, if you see there's a need, guess what? College isn't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. No one said you have to do it at 18. You know how people take a gap year and they say, oh, I'm taking a gap year. I'm going to skip this year, right? Just work and figure some things out. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to travel this year, whatever the case is. Everyone has that opportunity. So we really have to ask ourselves, are these college degrees for the masses, not the specialized niche doctor, attorney, those people, right? But for the masses, is that college degree really going to help you land the job? Is it really going to help you get to the financial place you want to go? Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we're doing this. I'm not here to bash colleges. I'm not here to just talk about, right, why college is good or not good. I'm really here to try to make sure that we're all setting ourselves up to be as financially independent as possible, how we can get as financially secure as possible, how we can make sure our cash flow is good, we can make sure we have more coming in than what's going out. That's really the essence of these conversations. And oftentimes we're not choosing careers or we're not being focused on the reason why we're working. You're not living just to work. You're working so that you can create a life for yourself that you want, that you don't need a break from, that you have all the discretionary income that you need, that you have all the resources that you need. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a financial coach. So let me tell you, money brings you options. That's what it does. It's not everything. It's not the end all be all, but money brings you options. And the more options you have, typically the happier you become, the more fulfilled you become because you feel like you have a life, right? You can do things. So in choosing our career, in choosing the things that we want to do for work, in choosing the things that we spend the majority of our time doing for hopefully a season of our life and not our entire life, it's important to think about what are the ROI, what's the financial gain. And too long we've been sold on, right, college being a business. Obviously we've been sold on the fact that this will lead you to more income. And I know there's some studies out there that say, right, even those people with a college degree right, they out earn people with just a high school diploma. So like, overall, if you do have some type of higher education, you will be able to make more money, right? Those statistics are out there. But I work with a lot of people that have multiple college degrees and are in tons of debt. They have negative net worths, right? So if a college degree or something you have to pay for then gives you a negative net worth, is that better than the person that just has a high school diploma that has a positive net worth, albeit it might be a small net worth? Small is still better than the negative. And when we're 40, 50, 60, 100, $150,000 in debt, and we only make $75,000 a year, and we don't feel like we can go buy that house, or we don't feel like we can get these things, we really have to question the origin of how all this stuff starts and stop letting people determine or tell us what is the right path. There is no one right path for everyone. If you pay attention, that's what these shows are going to do. We're going to talk about the industries that might be up and coming, the industries that you can bounce into, the road of entrepreneurship, which is the route my wife and I chose to take. All of them are difficult. You just got to choose your hard. You got to choose what's hard for you. The entrepreneur path, you have to learn a different set of skills and a different set of mindsets. You have to have a different outlook on life and really do some things a bit differently to be successful as an entrepreneur. But regardless, there's no one path for everybody. So we just got to have the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We got to have the conversation. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Feel free to drop a comment about what your thoughts are on what's the ROI of a college degree. And again, I know someone in the comments is going to be like, as a doctor, you need to go to school. Absolutely, you do. As a surgeon, as an engineer, right? There's a lot of degrees that you're going to, get in college that is going to help you, right, get into that field that you want. But if we're just talking about the masses, if we're talking the majority, if we're talking the 80% of people, right, the majority of people, the people that go to school for political science or marketing or, right, whatever these little degrees are that we thought would still end up, would help us end up where we want to, we really have to question it and say, is this worth it? And if it's not, and you're listening to this and you're your first year in, second year in, and you're like, I'm not going to keep going into debt. It's one thing if it's free, right? Parents are paying for it. They don't care. Again, there's lots of different circumstances as to why people are going. If it's being paid for and you have no other, thoughts of what you want to do with your life or ideas of how to build business, and, your job is paying for your degree, then why not, right? But if you're going into debt and you're spending your time and you're not even sure if that's what you want to do, and the job market once you get out isn't going to be the most favorable, we really have to maybe rethink our options. So just want to make sure there are options out there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are thinking about or going back to school or thinking about getting into college, right, just weigh the options. How much will this cost me? Time and money and energy. How much will this cost me? Because everything has a cost. And what's the profit? What's the benefit? What do I get? And if the only benefit is I put myself in a position to potentially make more money, I think we might have to rethink some of those things. There have to be more benefits than just I could potentially make more money. You could become a YouTuber and potentially make more money. All right. There's a lot of little things you can do and potentially make more money without going into debt. So that's the conversation. Let's talk about it, guys. I always want to have the conversation with you. Remember, I'm a financial coach, so I'm here to help you down the financial road. So we're just trying to make sound financial decisions. We want to make good money decisions. And we're heading into an era, heading into a time where the college degree conversation, we have to get to some numbers. We got to get to really, what is it? What's the ROI of it? And could there be a different path to get us to the place that we want to go? If that's just making six figures or making sure you can buy yourself a house or having a positive net worth, there might be some other pathways. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I always appreciate you guys jumping on. We're doing this every single Wednesday, except for next Wednesday, maybe. I don't know. I might be traveling next Wednesday. So we'll see. But either way, continue to stop in here on LinkedIn and on YouTube. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions. More than happy to guide you down the path financially. If not, leave a comment. Share this with somebody that's going to college, or you're thinking about is going to college and wants to have the debate or the talk. Let's talk about it. Till next week. Take care.